Many investors think buying an asset is what measures success, but the smartest investors know the real money is made in how you structure the deal. Because you could have two people that buy the exact same type of property, and one investor becomes wealthy while the other struggles with cash flow, stress, and eventually loses the asset. Why? Because they don't understand the capital stack and capital structure. And once you understand this concept, you'll never look at debt, equity, leverage, or investing the same way again. In this video, I'm going to break down the two types of capital every investor uses, what the capital stack actually is, how smart investors structure deals to reduce risk, and how to know if the asset is carrying too much debt. By the end of this video, you'll understand how experienced investors think when they buy assets. Before we get into it, my name is Elridge, and in this video, we're talking about one of the most important concepts in investing in wealth building. Now, this is a concept that institutional investors, private equity firms, banks, and experienced investors understand very well. So today I want to simplify this. I want to make it beginner friendly while also helping you think like a more experienced investor. Because once you understand capital stack, you'll understand how deals are really put together. Before we talk about capital stack, we first have to understand the foundation. There are two types of capital in the world. You have debt and equity. That's it. Every real estate deal, every apartment complex, every business acquisition, every development project is funded using some combination of debt and equity. Let's start with debt. Debt is borrowed money that must be repaid with interest over time. So think of debt as mortgages, lines of credit, HELOCs, business loans, credit cards, seller financing, margin loans, student loans, car loans. If it has interest attached to it, it's debt. Now let's talk about equity. Equity is ownership. It's your ownership stake in the deal. This means your cash invested, a partner's cash invested, shares, ownership interests, stocks, capital from investors. That's equity. Now here's the big difference. Debt get paid interest no matter what, but equity experiences the upside and the downside of the investment, meaning if the property performs well, equity wins. But if the property struggles, equity absorbs the pain first. That's why understanding the balance between debt and equity is critical. Now let's talk about the capital stack. The capital stack is simply the combination of debt and equity used to finance an asset. That's all it is. Now, this is important because most people think there's only one way to buy real estate, but there are actually three ways to finance a deal. Number one, all debt, meaning you finance the entire deal using borrowed money. Number two, all equity, meaning you use cash, investors, or partners to buy the deal outright. Or number three, a combination of debt and equity. And this is how most smart investors and experienced investors structure deals. Now here's where things get interesting. Smart investors are constantly asking, how much debt should this asset carry? Because every asset has a limit. Every property can only support so much debt before the deal becomes dangerous. And this is where most investors fail. One of the best ways to understand this is to think about debt as weight. Debt is heavy. Why? Because debt creates obligations, monthly payments, interest payments, financial pressure. The more debt you place on an asset, the heavier the deal becomes. Now, think about equity as light. Why? Because equity reduces risk. The more cash invested in a deal, the less pressure the property has to perform perfectly every month. Now, let me give you an example. Imagine carrying weights on your shoulders. At first, you can handle it, but eventually the weight becomes too much. And that's exactly what happens when investors over-leverage properties. The asset collapses under the pressure of the debt. This is why some investors lose properties during market shifts. It's not always because the deal was bad. Sometimes the deal simply carried too much debt. Let's simplify this with numbers. Let's say you buy a property for $100,000. Now let's say the rental income from that property can only safely support $70,000 worth of debt. That means the remaining $30,000 need to come from equity. Why? Because too much debt would make this property unstable. So in this example, $70,000 of debt, $30,000 of equity, that's the capital stack. And this is exactly how experienced investors think. They don't just ask, can I buy the deal? They ask, how much debt can this asset support safely? This is a completely different level of investing. Now let's talk about how the smartest investors structure their deals, because smart investors understand leverage can either build wealth or destroy wealth. More debt can increase returns, but also increase risk. More equity reduces risk, but sometimes lowers returns because you have more capital tied into the deal. So smart investing is really about balance. The smartest investors don't blindly chase leverage. They structure debt intentionally. They think about cash flow, interest rates, debt payments, reserves, market conditions, vacancies, risk tolerance. And one of the biggest mistakes beginner investors make is assuming more leverage always means better investing. That is not true. Sometimes less debt creates more freedom. Sometimes less debt creates more survivability during downturns. And smart investors understand surviving downturns is important because the market is not going to always be good. Now, here's another thing wealthy investors do. They keep reserves. Reserves reduce risk. This means cash available for emergencies, vacancies, repairs, market shifts, or unexpected expenses. Because real estate is not perfect. Things happen. Tenants stop paying. Repairs happen. The market changes. Interest rates move. And investors who have no reserves usually panic during difficult seasons. But investors with reserves can survive volatility. That's why experienced investors prioritize liquidity, not just assets. Liquidity gives you flexibility, and that flexibility keeps you in the game long enough to build wealth even in down markets. The reason I wanted to make this video is because understanding capital stack changes how you view money and how you view a deal entirely. You stop seeing debt as simply good debt or bad debt, and instead, you start seeing debt as a tool and start understanding when leverage helps, when leverage hurts, and how to structure deals intelligently. And this is how the best and smart investors think. And if you got value from this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who wants to become a smarter investor. And if you want to learn more about how we build wealth using real estate, leverage, private money lending, and financial strategies, check out the links below. My name is Elridge, and I'll see you on the next video.